You might know this guy here, Dan Wootton, who wrote some pretty bad things about Johnny in The Sun, but you might not know him because he's been canceled from like everything he's ever worked on. This here's from Byline Times, who's been following him because he's had some allegations out against him, which is one of the main reasons he got canceled from pretty much, like I said, everything. It's a bit older, but it's the newest piece they have on him, I think. Witnesses interviewed as police and Murdoch probes into Dan Wootton continue. Dan Wootton remains at the center of several separate inquiries following a special investigation into catfishing and abuse of power allegations published by this newspaper this summer. On October 2nd, the Metropolitan Police confirmed it was looking into matters connected to a 40-year-old man arising from a series of Byline Times articles unmasking Wootton as the controller of catfishing pseudonyms Martin Branning and Maria Joseph. It can now be confirmed that officers of the Met's complex investigation team have interviewed a number of people over matters raised by the articles and in connection with other allegations that cannot be reported for legal reasons. So there is more, but they got to hold back obviously on what they put out in public. There have been no arrests, although a witness against whom Wootton made a counter-allegation was told last month that they will face no further police action. Wootton has denied any implications of criminal activity. So I guess Wootton pointed the finger back at someone, but that person came up clean. Officers have meanwhile been taking statements from a number of men in England and Scotland. There's a top-level interest in the case within the police, one source said. They're taking a belt and braces approach and will follow the evidence. There's a desire for people with information to come forward and get in touch via their local police station. Great, that's what we want. Even for people we don't like so much, who did some distasteful things in the past, still need to be looked in by evidence first. But my gut feeling and my personal opinion is that this went on. I just won't say it for a fact without evidence. So we're still waiting for that silver bullet, but I think it's going to come sometime. News UK publisher of The Sun, at which Wootton worked for 8 years until 2021, and which has appointed external lawyers to look into the alleged targeting of employees and some celebrities, has yet to offer its findings to detectives, as it did in 2011 when it cooperated with Scotland Yard inquiry into phone hacking and bribery scandals. We remember that. However, sources close to the company speak of an investigation that continues to warrant further attention and remains a matter of corporate concern. The Murdoch's chosen external counsel, London law firm Kingsley Napley, has in the past acted for the family itself. Its former partner Angus McBride was appointed News UK's general counsel in 2016 after acting for CEO Regabach Brooks in her 2014 Old Bailey acquittal on phone hacking charges. So they've got a lot of receipts here, they've got a lot of details, a lot of dates, which is one reason I find them trustable. They might end up not getting it, not landing it, but I think what they have so far looks legit. And they say that there's a fear that there's going to be this big Lizzo-style pile-on of litigants. They also say Lizzo's facing a harassment charge. This was from December 14th, but if at that time she probably still is, because I haven't heard a definitive ending to that either. They say that their investigation has led to more questions about Dan by simply raising their own questions and putting out some things that they know. They say News UK, who owns The Sun, has talked to colleagues of Dan. I guess they're fishing around for information. No pun intended. They then say they've got digital evidence, which we're waiting to see definitively, I have to admit, but they claim they have it. If they didn't have it, I'm not sure why they'd claim it if they know it'll never actually come out if they don't have it. The company will want to make a public show of legal and regulatory compliance issues being dealt with robustly, said a source. However, no firm decision has been made on whether to share findings. We need to get to the bottom of it all properly first. No one has ever seen anything quite like it. We're ready to see it. It's been a while, and Dan's dipped off the radar, so bring us back in. They go on to say he remains suspended from GB News. I thought he was gone completely. As of a month ago, they say still suspended. Okay. Not on the edge of my seat. Whatever happens there happens. They also say bosses at GB News are trying to be fair and rigorous. Whatever that means. Good for them, I guess. And they end with the fact that Dan put his house up for sale for $1.8 million, which shows that, well, his career took a hit, his money took a hit, and that's that. But he didn't lose as much as Johnny lost from his silly little article, so can't really feel bad for him. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. Doing shout outs, special thanks, things like that, pop culture. If you don't subscribe here, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.